For sure. And then you fast forward a year and just say you wake up on grand final day. Did you do anything as a collective? Obviously, we know what happened the previous year. Was that discussed at all beforehand, or it was just we've got a grand final to play and that's about it?
Not really. Well, maybe a little bit. I think we all kind of spoke about how much calmer we felt this time, which probably relates back to our path to the grand final, I'd say. Like last year, we were riding a fair bit of momentum to get to the grand final. So like we beat Melbourne when we lost them earlier in the year, and we beat Adelaide when we lost them earlier in the year. Whereas this time I think it was probably due to having unfinished business. I think we were expecting to get back to the grand final because we wanted to, go one better so badly. Whereas I think last time we were really surprised we got to the grand final, if that makes sense. So it was more like, and then probably using our learnings from last year, like how we probably were just a bit scrambled and we were probably overthinking the game and overthinking the occasion. So yeah, we're a lot more calm, a lot more composed in the lead up, and I think we were just more excited about it instead of nervous. And I think the number one thing was just the club. We were all just very calm, just went about our business as normal. And I think that, I mean, I don't want to say this again, but I think it held us in good stead for the game for sure.
Do you think, that calmness also falls off the leaders, or is it, or like the coaches, or was it literally all of you were kind of naturally calm, or did someone go up to you and say to be calm, or were you normally naturally?
No, I think that's sort of
how you were.
I don't know. That's an interesting question, actually, because I don't think no one came up and said be calm. I think it kind of just was what it was, but I think it's kind of reflected on our whole season. I'd say we kind of had that vibe about us no matter what. Like even after we drew that game against Geelong, we were just very calm because we knew what we did wrong. And so we just applied it the next week, and I think that goes for our whole season. Like we looked at what we had to do to win. We won, and then we used our learnings and just went to the next game. It felt pretty calm all season, I'd say. So I think it's just I don't want to say the vibe, but I think it's part of that culture probably that we spent building since last year, and then I think really put into practice since off season, probably earlier this year, that then followed us through pre-season into the granny eventually. And
you're a part of a team that obviously went undefeated. You drew one game against the Cats, as you said, but did after every game you won? Was there anything? Obviously, there's a lot to improve on, but what was there to improve on after each game if you're not losing? Or was it just keep doing the same thing? I
think the important part of our season was that Croc's our coach, for those who don't know. The whole undefeated thing we didn't really talk about because I don't think we saw it as it was obviously of note, but I also think it was there was no real pressure on us then because it was it just so happens to be undefeated because we played the football we needed to play, if you know what I mean, instead of we're undefeated, how amazing is that, let's keep this going. It wasn't so much that sort of focus. And obviously you win games and that's a great result, but I think we want to play a North Melbourne type game, and we call it our identity, and to play a perfect game, our perfect game would probably be the grand final if we really looked at it. In taking all the reflections from the year, that would probably be our best game of the year. And that just comes from obviously we get the result against teams, but that doesn't mean we played our best football. And it's just taking those times where we didn't play our best and then how we can then use it better the next week, I suppose.